Welcome to Football with Cheese. Breaking news. Yes, haircut acquired. She did a great job. The girl cuts my hair. People have been talking about it. The haircut has been acquired. We're good. On to football. So, programming note first. I'm going to do the Bills Chiefs preview later today. I still have about an hour more of that game to watch. I got too tired last night. I was rewatching the game. So after this video, I'm going to rewatch it. Then I'll have that this afternoon. We'll have that preview. And tomorrow I'm going to do a video going over Brian Schottenheimer being named the head coach of the Cowboys, and also the Texans firing Bobby Slowick, their offensive coordinator. I talked to a few Cowboy fans who want to know more about Brian Schottenheimer, who he is. So I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow morning. So look for that. So make sure you subscribe and you turn on that notification bell so you will know when that video drops. Okay, so we're going to talk about Washington, Philadelphia in this video. The Eagles have been to the Super Bowl 4 times, and they won in 2018. They lost 2 years ago to the Chiefs, 38-35, in a game they absolutely should have won. The Redskins have not been to the Super Bowl since 1992 when they beat the Bills. So, might have a Washington-Buffalo rematch. That would be pretty awesome. So, Eagles, Skins, these teams hate each other. Let's be honest. They're divisional rivals and they hate each other. If you did not know, the NFC East has Dallas, New York Giants, Philadelphia, Washington. And they all absolutely hate each other. Despise each other. Probably more than any division in the NFL, probably even more than the AFC North, if possible. The teams despise each other. So this is more than just we win, we go to the Super Bowl. This is a division matchup and bragging rights for the whole rest of the year. So I rewatched both games and picked up on some things. First of all, Jalen Hurts. Let's talk about him. He has not played well in either game. On my recap of the Packers-Eagles game, I was giving the Packers a lot of credit, their defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley. But I rewatched that game too, because I rewatch every Packer game. I'm a Packer fan. But when I rewatched that game, I actually focused a little more on the Eagles. And I noticed Jalen Hurts was missing receivers. He was not accurate. And he was even worse against the Rams. Now, it was a snow game. It's much harder to pass in the snow. I get it. But it's more than that. On multiple occasions, he's missing a guy that's maybe not wide open, but open enough, where if he just gets the ball, it's a catch. And then he hurt his knee. Now, he's going to play, but he's not going to be 100%. And this is important. In the Rams game, in the opening drive, he ran that 44-yard touchdown. One of the strengths of Jalen Hurts is his mobility, being able to scramble, run away from pressure. That's one of his strengths. He's not a great passer. He's not a top 10 quarterback in this league. And when he hurt his knee against the Rams, it affected him. And there was one play in particular where he's standing in the pocket and he's holding the ball too long. And rather than just try to even move away, he just stood there and just took the sack. He should have thrown it away. But you just don't see that from Jalen Hurts. Just stands there and just takes the sack. Didn't try to throw it away. You just do not see that. Jalen Hurts just doesn't look right. And the rest of the offense is really talented. This could be a big issue for the Eagles. If he's not able to move out of the pocket, it could be a long day for the Eagles offense. Obviously, they have Saquon Barkley. But Hurts does not look right. And he played very well in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They lost 38-35 to the Chiefs. But he cannot keep playing bad. Eagles have won the last 2 games. They won mostly with their defense against the Packers. Won a game that came down to the wire against the Rams. But Hurts has got to have to play better. He's got to play better or they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They've got to win 2 more games. Now, these 2 teams, as division rivals, played each other twice in the regular season. I wish I had more time to go back and watch those games. I wanted to rewatch those games. I watched them both at the time. But in those games, Saquon Barkley in the first game ran for 146 yards, a 26-18 Eagles win. In the second game, he ran for 150 yards, a 36-33 Washington victory. So they split in the regular season. Saquon Barkley went off in both games. What's interesting about those games, especially the second one, Jalen Hurts did not play. In the second one, Kenny Pickett did. They still scored 33 points because of Saquon, and Washington actually had 5 turnovers in that game and still won. So the score looks like 36-33, but Washington actually way outplayed the Eagles in that game, missing their quarterback. For Washington, injuries. Sam Cosmi, their right guard, he's their best offensive lineman, hands down. He was a second-round pick in 2021 out of Texas. He's one of those players, I remember that draft, that was projected to go first round or early second. One of those players that most people had him in their first round mock, which is 32 picks. And he fell all the way to 51. This happens every draft. A player that should probably go late first round doesn't even go top 50, falls to the end of the second round, and someone who picks there gets lucky. And in 2021, Washington picked Sam Cosmi. He's their starting right guard. He's a terrific guard. And he's out for the season. Trent Scott's filling in for him. I don't know much about Trent Scott, but that could be important, especially going against Jalen Carter. Let's talk about Jalen Carter. Unbelievable postseason so far for him. Been so disruptive in both games, especially against the Rams. Rewatching that game, I noticed something. When they double teamed him, when the Rams did, he struggled to get off double teams. He's not Aaron Donald. He's a great player, but he's not Aaron Donald, can beat double teams consistently. He struggled to get off double teams. When they didn't double team him, he dominated. One-on-one, you cannot block him with a rookie 6th-round center like the Rams tried to do. So one of the reasons the Rams lost, we talked about this in the recap video, was the last 2 plays when they got down 6, close to scoring, get a touchdown extra point, you win if you're the Rams. They didn't double team him on back-to-back plays, and it resulted in a sack and incompletion to end the game. For whatever reason, Kevin Dotson, the right guard of the Rams, didn't help out the rookie center on those last 2 plays. Ended up with a sack and incompletion. Both times Jalen Carter made the play. Big mistake. So this could be important with Sam Cosmi out and having to block Jalen Carter. But you just got to double team him on every passing down. You have to. Yes, you're going to get some one-on-one matchups that you might not like. The Washington offensive line is not really a strength anyway. They've been playing better than probably their talent. Brandon Coleman's their rookie left tackle. He's been struggling, and he could have trouble against the Eagles. And he's probably going to be blocking one-on-one a lot. So we'll see what happens there. Eagles, one thing when I rewatch these games, I watch offensive line a lot, because when you watch the game, you're watching the football. So you don't necessarily watch the offensive line. Landon Dickerson has been playing out of his mind, the left guard of the Eagles, unbelievable run blocker. They run behind him a lot with Saquon. Mekhi Becton and Cam Jurgens, the right guard and center for the Eagles, they've been struggling a little bit pass blocking, especially Becton. Becton was a first-round pick of the Jets years ago. Didn't work out. Much better guard. He's now the right guard of the Eagles. He and Cam Jurgens, the center, have been struggling pass blocking, so that could be important. Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle for Washington, had a really good game against the Lions. No one has good games against the Lions offensive line, but he did, and he got pressure from the inside, and that really hurt Jared Goff. One of the things that led to a really bad game for Jared Goff. So, also, Nakobe Dean is out for the year. It didn't really hurt them too much last week. Oren Burks had a decent game, but he's not Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean's one of the best off-ball linebackers in the game. So we'll see if that's important in this matchup. Terry McLaurin and Dyami Brown both have been playing great. Terry McLaurin's just one of the best receivers in the NFL. He's terrific. But Dyami Brown, his emergence as a number 2 receiver has been very important out of nowhere. 59 career receptions coming in this postseason, 30 this year. But he's been playing great. One thing that Washington did was they attacked the middle of the field, especially like on 3rd and 4th downs with Zach Ertz. We've talked about this in other videos. When teams play 2 deep safeties or cover 2 look, especially when you have 2 receivers you don't want to beat you, a lot of times the middle of the field is where you attack the defense. And Washington, give them credit, they did that. And they hit Zach Ertz on some big 3rd and 4th downs. They struggled on 4th down against Tampa. They did not against Detroit. Mike Sandersfield, we talked about him in the recap. He had an outstanding game, the corner for Washington, 2 interceptions. Marshawn Lattimore, rewatching the game, he has not really been playing well. If you don't know who he is, he's their number 1 corner. He was an outstanding corner for New Orleans. They got him in a trade at the deadline. He's been a shutdown corner in his career. He is coming off injury. He has just not looked the same. And he's probably going to cover A.J. Brown, the star receiver for the Eagles. So that could be an important matchup. Lattimore's just going to have to play better. And last thing got to mention, Jayden Daniels, the quarterback of Washington, rookie 2nd overall pick. He's been incredible. He looks so confident. He looks so poised. When you watch him, you just know he's going to make the play. Never seen a rookie quarterback do anything like this. They definitely have the best quarterback on the field. If you look at this on paper, everywhere but quarterback, you could argue Philadelphia is as good or better. So we'll see how this game goes. I'm looking forward to it. All right, prediction time. The Eagles are favored by 6. Little surprised it's that high. Washington is the hot team. Sometimes in the playoffs, you're not as good maybe as some of the other teams, but you're just playing so well. Everything's coming together, playing well as a team. It's just, you're just clicking. And like the 2018 Eagles did that. They were the hot team. They were all the way to the Super Bowl. I think 6 points is too much. I like Washington plus 6, and I think they're going to win. I'm calling it. I think Washington upsets the Eagles. I don't think Jalen Hurts is playing well enough, and his knee injury concerns me. Quinyon Mitchell is also banged up, their corner, their star rookie corner. So I'm going to take Washington plus 6, and I think they pull the upset and they go to the Super Bowl. We shall see. Alrighty, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Click the bell for notifications, like the video, comment who you think will win and who you like against the spread. Let me know. And look for that Buffalo, Kansas City video later this afternoon.